Roster review time, 10 teams, start 10, PPR, half point premium, super flex, tysonmann, where are you? Okay, middle of the pack. Oh, so one of the first things we do in this video is we just go through keep, trade, cut value. And I tell people that you take this with a grain of salt and that when it comes to end of year finish, I'd expect a swing, 10,000 points for any given team. It's not scientific. This is really just saying there's going to be some overvalued players. There's going to be players that are injured. There are going to be teams with cheap veterans who are going to heavily outproduce for this year. But when I look at your league and I see a dead team, there's got to be something wrong with my website, or this guy is really bad at Dynasty, or or there's some special situation in your league. I'm hoping that it's not someone who's deceased. Like, that's what I see when I see value that low compared to everyone else. So let's go through your team. Your team looks really good amongst a sea of other really good teams. And let's give some positional values. Have you guys had your rookie draft? Probably. Yeah, someone has. Oh, you have Quinchon Jug. Someone has a rookie, so that means you guys have done your rookie draft. Okay, let's go through position by position. Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Michael Penix, Aaron Rodgers, and then some dart throws. It's probably a 5, maybe a 4. Like, I don't believe in Drake May. He shows up in a lot of these roster reviews. I mentioned that he's QB6 here. I don't expect you to have seen other roster reviews, but Drake May's production last year wasn't that good. He was a QB2. But now he's rated as QB6. This feels like last year. CJ Stroud was just heavily overvalued. People thought he would take a big step forward, and we're buying him as though he had taken a big step forward. That's what Drake May is to me. You're paying for someone as though they've already been great, and it hasn't happened yet. So if you can get someone else to pay for Drake May and then he does play really well, that's fine because they paid full price. So we'll come back to that. Running backs: Gibbs, Judkins, James Conner. James Conner's backup, maybe. This is a really, really good 3. Like, you've got Gibbs. Judkins, we hope, is the starter right away, and we hope he's good, but we don't know. He's rated as RB11, which probably bumps up this number a little bit more than I would think. But again, that's kind of why we say ignore it. Trey Benson and James Conner, like, you've got a third starter, probably a bye week fill-in, and we just kind of hope Quinchon Judkins picks up the league quickly. Jahmyr Gibbs, I don't know how much there is to say about him. He's really good. Wide receivers: JSN, Devonta Smith, Ibuka, Downs, Devontae Adams, Diggs, Adonai Mitchell, Cedric Tillman. This is 3 or a 2. You have JSN. Devonta Smith is probably a little bit overvalued, as he just hasn't had as many injuries that hurt his production like someone like Jalen Waddle. I think they're drafted in the same year of the NFL draft in neutral health situations for their teams. Like, Tua's not hurt and all the starting lineup is healthy. They actually perform about the same. Devonta Smith just has a better name, or, no negative stink on him. Not a lot to love at wide receiver. In a 10-team start 10, I'd like to see a little bit more here. I feel like that's kind of where some of this QB value is. Like, Penix could just be a receiver for you, and that would help you every week. Tight ends: Sam Laporta, good. Jonnu Smith, probably not good. Zach Ertz, last year was really good. Top 12, top 7, top 8. Like, you could have good tight ends. There's a small tight end premium. You might end up starting Laporta and Ertz each week, and then no picks. 1 first next year and nothing else. So some of this is, like, all of the value that's missing here is kind of just dumped into quarterbacks. So we should look to make some moves there. If you want the value on this team to contend, I'd be open to down tiering from Jaden Daniels. If Depends on what your league feels about Jalen Hurts. Can you get something on top of Jalen Hurts for Jaden Daniels? I would be open to doing that. It would be like at least a first round pick, probably more. Because it's a 10 team super flex. So the top tier guys are worth more. I would be open to doing that to then use that first to up tier at receiver. To up tier at receiver. Drake May, we already talked about him. There's a lot of value here that probably doesn't translate to production that you could just sell and get really good production and another player. Like I would down tier all the way to Baker if I could. Baker Mayfield on Cinnamon Apple. This guy's got Baker and Dak, who I would be looking to do a down tier to either one of them from Drake May and just get, a lad on top. Plug it into the calculator. I don't have all the values and memorized, especially for a 10 team start 10, but get some ideas. Like you want a big player on top of Drake May or on top of whatever quarterback you get back from May. So I usually look for Kyler, who's top 10 every year, but is ranked as QB 15. Like he's still plenty young. I also look at Brock Purdy. Like this quarterback room going to have really good production. Purdy, Murray, production compared to their value. These guys can easily both be top 10. Kyler Murray is, if he's healthy, is always top 10. Brock Purdy, I wouldn't be surprised if he was QB 7 this year. That's in his range of outcomes. I'm not predicting it. I wouldn't rank him to be 7th, but he has that upside. Justin Fields could be a top 10 guy this year. The way that I'm talking about these quarterbacks is like they're all going to outperform this value. I don't feel that about Drake May. Michael Penix's value isn't high. I mean, I would want to move one of these guys entirely and possibly down tier from Jaden Daniels and then just hold Aaron Rodgers as a third guy to fill in bye weeks and get more of this value into your lineup each week. If you sold Devonta Smith, you would be selling high, and I would definitely be open to doing that. I don't really want to move Devontae Adams. If anyone will give you something for Stephon Diggs, I would be looking to do that. I'm not looking to down tier to other players or get a player of Stephon Diggs' value level. I would just be using this as, what's he worth? Like a third or a fourth round pick, using that the same way I would a third or a fourth round pick, but just either getting a pick back like that or using that to up tier. Other moves I would be open to doing. I wouldn't make it my top option, but I would listen on Jahmyr Gibbs. Get a cheaper running back, move a quarterback, and get some monster receivers. You're not doing this to down tier. You're just looking to move players. So if you need to include JSN to move Drake May or JSN to move Penix or Gibbs to move Penix, as long as you're getting really good players back, I'd be open to doing it. If I'm moving an amazing player, I want to throw in some of these junk players and get full price for them though, and get like better options here. You could try to add Mike Evans to this team. I'm going to pivot to like veterans to help put you over the edge, because you're in the mix. Any one of these teams can win the championship this year. So we want to get some cheap points into your lineup. That'll be Mike Evans. You already have Devontae Adams. Running backs, that's Kamara. That's Derrick Henry. Fondest. Henry's already on the top team. We're looking for stuff like that. If you have any follow-up questions, let me know in the YouTube comments. Thanks so much for submitting.